because I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want. I don't have to find a hideout place like you.
The Phantom, exterior like fish eggs, interior like suicide wrist rags. I could exercise you. This could be your phys ed. Cheat on your man, homie. Ah, try to sneak through the door, man.
It is free for the sailors.
No, I ain't going in to see no bullfight because it's in kindness to animals, and besides it's unhuman, and I just tore up the ticket and I can't go in anyway, so there.
Come into my house! Suck my dick! They call me gay!
A bomb that killed 6 people and hurt 1,000 more. After, Salem made his recording of a conversation with one of the handlers. But bear with us here. The audio's not great, so listen up.
If we was continuing with what we was doing, this bomb will never go off.
Lower Manhattan, where the two planes hit the 2 towers of the World Trade Center, but some very intelligent and aggressive cops also stopped another terrorist attack from happening on the George Washington Bridge. CBS 2 has learned exclusively that 2 men are in custody tonight after being arrested at the George Washington Bridge with an entire truckload of explosives.
A van that was parked in the building that may have had some type of explosive device in it. So their fear is that there may have been explosive device planted either in the building or in the adjacent area.
I'm wondering, did you do any explosive residue testing on any item out of the building just to lay these ideas to rest?
Answer to that is no. We did not do it. Our study has identified thermal expansion as a new phenomenon that can cause the collapse of a structure. For the first time, we have shown that fire can induce a progressive collapse.
Ensure that the explosives went off at a point that was high enough to prevent people trapped above from escaping.
I worked in the building for 20 years. I was the person in charge of all the stairwells of the North Tower. And on 9/11, I had the only master key that opened the doors that rescue people. This is the master key. They call it the key of hope. And basically, I was a janitor. Like I said, on that day, there was an explosion on the basement. And this is prior to the building got hit by the plane. And then the plane hit, and then there was a series of explosions afterwards. And a person comes running into the office saying, explosion, explosion, explosion. His skin was pulled all from his armpits all the way to the top of the fingertips, and pieces missing off his face, and then it was total chaos.
No longer sweetheart of American broadcasts, William now talks mostly to foreign outlets. The reason? His version of 9/11 differed from the official scenario.
It was the first hijacked plane that hit the...
It was the first hijacked plane. No, hello, that was an explosion before 9/11, before the plane hit the tower.
Sheikh Mohammed described the design of planned attacks on buildings inside the U.S. and how operatives were directed to carry them out. That is valuable information for those of us who have the responsibility to protect the American people. He told us the operatives had been instructed to ensure that the explosives went off at a point that was high enough to prevent people trapped above from escaping. Sheikh Mohammed described the design of planned attacks on buildings inside the U.S. and how operatives were directed to carry them out. That is valuable information for those of us who have the responsibility to protect the American people. He told us the operatives had been instructed to ensure that the explosives went off at a point that was high enough to prevent people trapped above from escaping.
Well, it's been a point of controversy now for more than a decade. A researcher now from the University of Alaska Fairbanks is weighing in.
World Trade Center Building 7 was not struck by a plane, but did collapse hours after the Twin Towers. Well, now Dr. Leroy Hulsey, a civil engineering professor at UAF, he led a 4-year study which reevaluates whether Building 7's collapse could have been caused by fire, as was determined by the National Institute for Standards and Technology in 2008. Hulsey says his findings were a resounding no, and his simulations paint a different picture than the federal agencies.
Guy, you want 6 million pizzas? 6 million pizzas? We only have 4 ovens, boss. How are we gonna pull that off? I don't know, but we gotta try. Maybe we could just tell them that we made the pizzas. I mean, we wouldn't lie about making pizzas, right? No, of course not. We can say we made the pizzas, but we'll need to make organizations to enforce the fact that we made the pizzas. Good idea, boss. And we should also make it a crime to even question if we made the pizzas. We'll also need some TV channels and constant Hollywood films to remind everyone that we made the pizzas. Yeah, good idea. We'll also need some pictures of a few pizzas. Take some pictures of these ones. We'll also need a few film strips of pizzas. Let's pile them on top of each other and bury them. Okay, film just a little bit, but not too much. Just enough so that the fact that we made the pizzas becomes ingrained in the culture.
America is back.
Highest inflation rate in the U.S.
The southern border is collapsing. A climb of COVID infections.
We amplify our power. We summoned a new strength.
This is a recruitment ad.
Should we be embarrassed?
Diplomacy is back.
Now the Taliban are back.
Kabul is not in an imminent threat environment.
The likelihood there's going to be the Taliban overrunning everything and owning the whole country is highly unlikely.
They own the whole country now, the Taliban. The Taliban are now in complete control of Afghanistan.
Complete chaos. How did President Biden get this so wrong?
Well, first of all, the mission hasn't failed yet.
If this isn't failure, what does failure look like exactly?
Biden, you destroyed not Afghanistan, but the world!
I don't care if you think I'm Satan reincarnated.
Do I bear responsibility? Zero responsibility.
China is ready for friendly relations with the Taliban.
You're likely gonna open the door right there and the Taliban and they're gonna come in and kill us.
Hold on, everybody.
We have to ask the Taliban for permission for American citizens to leave. True or not true? They are in control.
I can't think of anyone better to lead this operation than
They're just chanting death to America.
Call yourself the president!
I've never even been here. Good luck. Diablo, yeah, we'll do third person later as well. It's like that. They're kind of bad, but no, I had a lot of fun with it yesterday and the day before when I played it and streamed it. Little Joey there with the pumpkin emo. Oh yeah, it's Halloween tomorrow, isn't it? I bet people were doing like Halloween parties this weekend. I was supposed to be born on Halloween, but I came a few days early. Is third person a whole separate mode? Yeah, it is, Shadow. If you play in a third person playlist.
What would Jesus say about Christmas? Well, that's an excellent question. And I've got my own opinion on that. And I believe that Jesus would say, why are you guys celebrating my birthday when it's not my birthday? As we all know, Jesus was not born on December 25th. Well, why are we celebrating Jesus' birthday on a day that wasn't his birthday? Now, maybe your kids are small and you celebrate their birthday on a weekend because their birthday lands on a weekday, so you might move it a smidge, but nobody moves it months. And I think if Jesus saw everybody and told us exactly what he thought about celebrating his birthday on December 25th, he would say that you are all celebrating my birthday in honor of the sun god, Horus, where they used to sacrifice babies to please him. And if you really think, if December 25th was actually a day of sacrifice of babies, how many babies would they have had to please Horus? Well, quite a few, I would imagine. Well, how many months does it take a baby? Because people want to be prepared, they want to plan ahead. So that brings us back 9 months prior to Christmas. Where? Easter. We celebrate Easter for what? The resurrection. Coincidentally, Easter, which is also another god, Ishtar, the god of war and fertility, which is why there's rabbits and eggs, was actually a pagan holiday that was observed by basically having an orgy. So everybody got together on Easter, had a lot of sex, so 9 months later there'd be a lot of babies. And coincidentally, when all those babies were born, old Horus was there December 25th, wanting you to slice them open and sacrifice the babies to him. And then here we are, thousands of years later, celebrating baby Jesus' birthday on Christmas, when in reality on Christmas was a sacrificial day where millions of babies were slaughtered, and that is what I think he would think.